How do y'all?
Someone in a very
Cornwood?
convincing Cornwood suit.
You gonna sell us oxy or what?
Oh, how do I sound?
You sound
You
okay.
sound great.
You sound like you should be walking really quickly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry. Looking great as always.
Well, thank you. I ain't too loud, am I?
No, it's
you're-
not
You're
like that.
fine,
You're
you're
good,
fine.
yeah.
You just sound
Just a
like
little
You
bit of a
sound
sore
better than
throat,
I
a little bit
expected
gruff.
with the sore throat.
Yeah,
to be honest.
honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
How's your 360 no scope these days, Cornwood?
Oh, good as ever.
Hey, you got eyebrows behind those faces?
I think so, unless they burned off.
I hope they didn't, because that would be disturbing.
All right. Well, this
no,
is
I think I see him. We're good. Yeah.
this is all we're gonna get. So let's I guess begin.
Okay.
There are some issues with the MDT right now, so I'm gonna try to press through some functional issues first. And we'll see if we can get to the actual legislative stuff people have suggested based on if the MDT works or not.
For what it's worth, it might be related to the issue that Cornwood was having, so it might work now.
No, it's been happening the last few days.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's got what I got.
Yeah, Cornwood's special case.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so to start off, obviously Max is under the weather. Solomon, we just discussed Cornwood. I was basically asking everyone, what's the deal with the impeachment? Cantor brought up that Arthur McNee was going to be pursuing it. That needs to happen like tomorrow. So whenever Arthur McNee can put in that filing, that needs to happen because frankly, at this point, we are about 3 weeks out from the next election cycle.
Yeah.
So there's no point in even impeaching someone if, like, what are we going to do? We're not even going to be able to hold a special election to get someone in that seat by the time the next election runs around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
So for he was just looking for witnesses. Who's our best bet on that? If that's fair, if you don't feel comfortable with it, who? I mean, I can since I tried to call him that last day, but it's pretty much all just whoever's
Cornwood,
up
have
there
you
has
talked
to
to
just testify
Solomon
that he
Walker
didn't show up
at all since the shooting?
No, not at all. Actually,
okay.
I ain't seen him at all.
That makes all of us. I guess Murphy saw him yesterday at the food court, but briefly and not in the context of discussing any of this. So that makes all of us. I haven't seen him once. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess we'll have to see what happens with that getting filed on the docket. If he responds to it, if he wants to contest it, and then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do because, like I said, we might just be running up on, 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. So then there's, no one.
McNee is ready to post it. He just needs to know who can testify. That's all. He's run out. He doesn't need much else from us. He's running on his own.
Oh, that must be why he texted me.
Yeah, probably.
I don't really think it matters.
Okay.
If you want me to testify, I can testify, that I got out of the ICU. I'll testify with you, Cantor. I don't mind.
Sure.
I mean,
I'll put us both forward then.
I'll be a secondary witness and I'll just say what I just said here, which is I got out of the ICU. I was informed that he was fine, but people were suspicious of him, PD and such. And then at that point, I had no contact with him, did not see him, had no request for any information from him, to the point where, we all questioned what was going on. Let me see here. I do have 2 numbers for him.
Me too.
Yeah, that was the whole topic of the court case yesterday.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I tried to call both the numbers I have for him that third meeting where we were like, maybe he just, didn't know where it was, but nothing.
Yeah, I have a text from him 2 months ago. Solomon Walker here. Tried calling to arrange getting keys to my office at City Hall. Let me know if you're around tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah, I think the last time I actually spoke to him was the day of the shooting.
And then previous to that, I have a text from 3 months ago. Can I speak to you about illegal aid becoming a lawyer. So yeah, I've not heard. He did not reach out to me since the day he basically got elected.
No, yeah, me either.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll figure that out in court.
Okay.
Next issue, we suspended Solomon for dereliction of duties because he wasn't showing up here. So that made sense to me pending the impeachment, right? Now the question is, Murphy has filed an impeachment proceeding against Max and Siobhan. Do we feel that someone filing an impeachment proceeding against someone for alleged, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Murphy. Is it alleged, what basis? What's the impeachment basis? Corruption or something?
Corruption and gross negligence.
Okay, so do we feel that someone...
Corruption and gross negligence.
Good job leaking those documents that got me tortured, by the way, Murphy. Nice gross negligence.
Okay, can we...
Okay.
I didn't leak any
Let's
documents.
make progress, guys.
Cans.
Yeah, let's... Okay, so... the question is do we feel that suspension is merited, or do we feel that, along the terms of innocent until proven guilty, given that the allegations are negligence and corruption, which need to be proven, as opposed to dereliction of duty, which is, self-evident, do we feel that Max and Siobhan should be suspended awaiting the impeachment? Second to that, given that any, basically attorney can file an impeachment, do we need to consider what that means? Because if we say that you're automatically suspended pending the outcome of a formal impeachment proceeding, does that mean that people can just maliciously, effectively suspend people by just filing an impeachment proceeding?
Technically, someone has requested impeachment on all of us against the DOC stuff, so we would be shut down completely if that were to happen. I'm against that.
Cornwood, thoughts?
Wait, who the hell's trying to impeach all of us?
The fucking Scotty Bard, I think.
DOC, Scotty,
It's a whole clusterfuck.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
tell
a
him
fucking
no.
mess. Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So, Glenn, thoughts?
I mean, I agree with Cantor. It's complicated, but they could just shut us all down, just if they felt like it.
Okay, so in the face of impeachment proceedings that merit some kind of provable standard, as opposed to something that is self-evident like dereliction of duties because someone's just not showing up, then we would consider it not to be a suspension while the impeachment was pending. So,
yeah.
And I've specifically omitted Siobhan and Murphy for obvious reasons from that discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so that's that hurdle. So now that we have everyone in the meeting that is allowed to be at the meeting based on our discussions, or is, available. Now the next question is, sort of the approach to some of the constitutional issues raised. So there are a number of
he's going so fucking fast.
Things that were brought up during the trial with Soze related to jurisdiction and language and things like that. The basis of most of his claims is that the Constitution currently reflects Los Santos as the general, term related to the jurisdiction. Now, this is definitely an oversight on my part because, well, go figure. I looked all the way back to, the constitutions from, a couple government failures and restructures ago. And by God, if they all aren't the same. So apparently no one has ever really looked at the fact that Los Santos has been used as a general term for our island, our little nation state here. And apparently Soze is the first person to actually give a shit enough to point this out. So there is, one part of it that is relatively simple fix in which, after this meeting, I'm going to meet with the judges that oversaw that case, and I'm going to direct them to, address that issue or loophole or whatever you want to call it in their formal docket, written out decision. So that will probably be some kind of case law that will interpret and or amend the Constitution, depending on how they see fit. Siobhan, I recognize that you had a piece of suggested legislation in there that did largely the same thing.
I just control F City of Los
And-
Santos and replace it with
yeah.
State of San Andreas.
And I noticed also there's an amendment in there about jurisdiction, which is great. So with your permission, I'll go ahead and pass that on to those judges,
Please
and
do.
they can use that as a basis to work from.
Would love that. My permission granted. No problem. Thanks, Green.
Does anyone have any thoughts, input on the SOZA issues of jurisdiction in general, the inadequacies of parts of the Constitution, etc.?
So is this going to imply that we will have separate jurisdictions for shit?
So currently, the way that it is written is that there is, one jurisdiction, and that, one set of laws applies to everything. Now, that is, obviously open to be amended in the future. Maybe we decide that, there should be, council in Toledo or whatever. But given the fledgling state we find ourselves in, it seems prudent for now, at least, to solidify the position we have, right? Which is a governmental body, legislating. The DOJ, basically enacting common law from court decisions. And then, various initiatives that can be passed by civilians regarding, like, for example, the Bill of Human Privileges, things like that. So, I'm just kind of gathering feedback and seeing if anyone has any thoughts, in terms of solving those jurisdictional issues. Now, I've already gone through and solved a couple issues. One of them was the weapons license legislation. Clearly, there were some failures there, or inaccuracies when it comes to being very precise with language. So the references to the civilian Class 2 weapons license have been re-added to the penal code. The weapons legislation has been amended to basically be a whole lot more thorough. That includes, descriptors for what you can do with a license, what you can do with a gun, what happens when you lose it, how you lose it, all the different things, protocols, what types of guns you're allowed to own, what things you're not, defining the different types of guns, both in the penal code and the legislation, etc. The second thing that was updated was the FOIA process was in the past something that was in PDSOPs as well as a DOJ document from Malton. That, based on feedback from Nino Chavez, a lawyer, Judge Bailey, and some other folks, has now been put into legislation. So the FOIA process now is a legislated process. The act is adopted and codified by that piece of legislation. And the FOIA system has been defined. There's also an appeals process if they feel that the PD did not, were not forthright with what was requested.
Awesome.
So those two things were done yesterday. I've entered the FOIA legislation as well as updated the weapons license legislation. As I said at the beginning of this outset of this council, my intention was not to just simply do what has been done in the past and write things from my seat. However, when issues are pointed out with things like that, then I need to act. So given that we have some MDT problems right now, let's go through and talk about, is there anything anyone has that is derivative of any of the issues I've talked about? Is there anything anyone wants to bring up that's deal with like jurisdiction or,
I was just gonna say that as consistency is key. So as long as it's consistent and easy to understand, and if we do create other jurisdictions later, it's easy enough to do so. Like, I'm fine with whatever, as long as it's as long as there's no outlying instances of confusing language.
Sure. I agree with that. That's going to be the goal. Does anyone have anything else on jurisdiction or anything like that?
Just the one thing. I did split up on that amendment that you were talking about where I replaced everything. I did just sort of further define the difference between like judicial authority and legislative authority. vaguely related to jurisdiction. I'm not sure if you'd read it. I just wanted to title out that, like, yes, you have the common law jurisprudence, but also rather than having an implied power and express overtly written out power of judicial interpretation is like the judicial authority. That the constitutional interpretation is a judicial authority. So just letting you know that I threw that in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
saw that.
All right, cool. All right, that's it.
So I will be working with that would be Judges Angel and Adams to basically instruct them to utilize their power as judges to effectively amend the Constitution as a result of issues brought up during the case. So for everyone's benefit, just in case people aren't really aware of this, the idea typically would be that the council would legislate and then the courts would interpret legislation, penal code, constitution, and then issue rulings based on their interpretations. And if those interpretations are new, different, novel, whatever, then that becomes, case law, common law, and can also include, for clarification, formal amendments to any legislation,
No, my
constitution,
legal clock
etc.,
is legal now.
because the courts have the ultimate say in terms of interpreting the law. So I will talk to them about initiating that. That should help with the jurisdiction issues, loopholes. Now, a couple of things that have been brought to me that I'm going to lay out. And this is something that we'll need to work on probably before the next meeting. So I'll endeavor to do that, as well as anybody else who wants to give it a shot. One of the other issues that was brought up as a result of, this whole FOIA thing, I'm talking to Nino and a bunch of other folks, is the fact that, there are some things that, due to everything getting derailed, are kind of piecemeal right now. One of them, for example, is that we fired all the DOC, but the legislation still exists. So I would suggest a vote now to repeal the DOC legislation.
Yeah.
That seems fair. That's a good idea.
Big eye.
Because if we're going to fire Bobby and Carmine, then there's no real point in having the structure, because all of the people that we hired were only done as, subjugate employees underneath Bobby and Carmine. So if they no longer, are running the prison, then it seems sensible to, repeal that legislation. Any thoughts on that?
I don't disagree.
Just their lawyer's going to say it's retaliatory and it's spoliation.
Well, we can just table it until the resolution of the case. That's fine with me. I have no issues with that.
I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm saying that's probably what the
I agree, and I don't want to
That
act
makes sense.
improperly or do anything that could influence the case. So I think it's probably fair that we table that until that. But I would just want it on record, especially
been
Ms. Domino's notes there, that the council is being, active with these items. We're just acting out of caution and not doing it right now because of the pending case.
Yeah, we're acting with good faith.
Seems
Okay, I think
fine
that's
with
good.
me.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right.
great.
The other thing I have is going to be a series of things. And these are things that we've discussed as judges, and I'm just going to make you guys aware of them and sort of where the thought process is right now. So some of the things that were raised as a result of Soze's, steroid-ridden diatribe, were that's factual, by the way. Him and Angel used to do steroids together. I saw them. They were doing them in the
that's pretty
MRPD parking garage about 5-6 years ago. So not defamation or anything, provable, untrue. When Soze was bringing up his complaints, several of the things that he brought up had to do with items in the Constitution that deal with due process and things that are not quite established. One of the things that he brought up was that in the Constitution, it does have example of terms for bail and things like that. But It also, has like the standard conditions of parole, and it talks about parole as a system, and the basic conditions, and the conditions talk about checking in with people and things like that. Now it does say that this could be from the courts or another authorized force, but it
Or of the
mentions repeatedly. Oh, god damn it, Cornwood. But it
Mhm.
also repeatedly mentions a parole officer, an assigned parole officer. And this is something that, I wrote into the Constitution thinking that, well, it would get run with at some point, but it never really did. So, feeling the need to now kick the horse in the ass, I'm going to sort of suggest, given that the sheriff's office is out there in Blaine County, right next to the prison.
He's going
Cornwood, how would you feel about
so
someone
fast
in
it's hard to
your
parse.
department? Doesn't matter who it is right now, but maybe just taking on the task of proposing a system of assigning parole officers and handling that. Because if we do have people that are sentenced to these long prison terms, it serves tends to reason that they should have someone checking in on them, making sure they're not getting into crime, making sure they're keeping their nose clean, all that, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Only issue that I would have is, hell, it really just comes down to if we got enough units.
Well,
So far,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think so far the BCSO has fleshed out a lot more quickly than was originally, thought that it was going to happen. So, hell, I'd say that it might be pretty likely that we could do this. Send maybe a couple officers in there. Assign them to go check in on them and whatnot, and make sure there ain't no crazy shit happening in the jail.
Well,
or
the thing
whatever.
is that it's only for people who are paroled, right? So after they serve their sentences and they get out, we just need parole officers who would be assigned to go be the ones that check in with these guys. So it would be on a case by case basis. It would be
okay.
It would be like so basically the judge goes up there to sentence someone and says, Murphy Braun, you've been found guilty of philandering. Your sentence is 4 days in jail and 4 days parole. Your parole conditions are the general conditions of parole as evidenced in the Constitution as listed. I'll read them out for you now. Reads out the conditions. I'll also put this on the docket. You will be assigned a parole officer. They will be in touch with you within 24 hours. And so my thought is not that we need to have active parole officers, because we don't have people on parole all the time, right? It's actually pretty rare. So my thought process is, why don't and you seem to know a lot of people in PD, both in the sheriff's and the LSPD.
How do I put him on
Maybe we could just have a list of
0.5
people who are
speed?
interested in doing the work on a reserve basis.
Yeah, I think that'd be
You know?
wise, and I'd agree. I think it shouldn't be limited to the sheriff's office, because I think there's some LSPD officers that probably be interested in as well.
We've done it that way before in the past. It works out pretty good. The people
Okay.
who want to do that, basically, to get some time off, have the ability most of the time, and it's not a big stress on any.
And I will communicate to the judges that maybe we can incentivize parole over prison time if the person agrees to these conditions where they get assigned a parole officer and meet with somebody. So we'll incentivize the program, the relationship, the nurturing, all the kind of stuff that you're good at, Cornwood. And maybe you can recommend people, or maybe just come up with a list. Maybe you talk to people around the departments, figure out who's interested in that kind of stuff. And you get, the DOJ a list, and this becomes just a document we keep in the DOJ documents or whatever. And it just, has a list of officers who are, interested and available for parole officer duties, what shift they work in. So then when the judge goes to sentence someone, they can look at the person and say, what hours are you usually around? Okay, shift 1. Okay, here's the officers interested. Do you regularly see any of these officers? Then read out to the person, list of officers. And maybe the person, could pick their parole officer. And that way it's a collaborative process. The judge and the person are interested. They know they're going to be around roughly the same times. And then, we get something out of it. Maybe we keep them out of jail. Maybe they reform. Who knows?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Idea.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't, given all the MDT issues, let's take a vote on codifying the parole process. So I'm taking notes right now, just on a notepad here, and I'll put all this formally once the MDT is working better. So why don't we, just basically vote now on just codifying the agreement and setting out Cornwood as sort of the marshal of parole officers, and he'll be the overseer of that whole thing. Steal a word from Soze. And then Cornwood can in good time, maybe by next meeting, maybe a little bit longer, just get us a rough list of people from different shifts who are interested in doing the job. And then we can, go from there and establish protocols with the DOJ and incentives and see if we can get the program moving. Anybody opposed to that?
No, that sounds great.
Oh, I
That
think
sounds
it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Ironically
Okay.
enough, I'd already kind of been doing this. I
Yeah.
signed
Perfect.
On Fire to Soze. So
Oh, great. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Sick.
So, okay, perfect. So we're on the same page. So I
Yay.
will, I'll go ahead and, I'll work on getting that put together in terms of, the codification and everything and getting it written down. But either way, that'll be something that Cornwall will move forward with. He has the authorization, and I'll talk to the judges on the DOJ side about incentivizing it. Murphy can maybe disperse that, info or talk to some lawyers about, getting their clients to utilize that kind of program.
Yeah, no, perfect.
sounds
Okay.
great.
Next of the things on the list, sorry, I know I got a lot here.
Yeah, you
Next
do,
thing that was
Jesus.
brought up, in terms of the Constitution, in terms of, how things function.
Mm.
Second, I'm looking at my notes. Sorry, just reading through my notes to make sure I get everything. And then one thing we are also working on is creating and I've talked about this a couple times now, trying to make it so that the MDT has a section where common law and court advisories and such can be published. So this would be just like a DOJ public facing DOJ section. That's not legislation, right? Because legislation,
I think that's
stems
needed.
from the council, right?
Yeah.
This would be a DOJ advisories. So we issue clarifications on things like loans, for example, we did in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As well as common law. And this way everyone is aware of and can read any outcomes from court cases that affect the law.
Woo. I think that's
Sounds
awesome.
great.
I will endeavor to get that working. I know it's been discussed several times. As soon as the technician has the bandwidth to deal with it, I'll get it done. Right now, obviously, we just got to get this thing working in the first place.
Yeah, once it's working,
Okay.
I do agree that we should definitely try to leverage it in ways that benefit the public a bit more. For sure.
Okay. So let's then. I think we've handled all the procedural shit. Let's go down the list. I guess we'll go clockwise. Cornwood, you got anything to bring up?
Yeah, I got a couple things here. Go through my notes. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. I don't know if I got a frog in my throat or something. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is something that's come up several times, and we've gotten inconsistent information on it as far as if it does work this way or does not. But that's statute of limitation and warrants. A lot of people have been asking if you put out a warrant for somebody and the warrant goes beyond the statute of limitations, does it extend the statute of limitations? If it does not, I wanted to propose legislation that would allow that to happen. There'd be some stipulations to this, one of which would be this would be a non-renewable warrant outside of any normal situation in which you'd put out an infinite warrant. So like if like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Canner, with the ICU situation, if somebody goes to sleep in the ICU, and that would be an infinite warrant regardless, right? Or capital charge, anything like that. But this would basically allow us to clean up the confusion and the frustration that comes from, I think, all sides. Whenever there's a warrant, there's not a warrant, there's an investigation going on, something gets put up at the last second, which shouldn't be happening anyway. But at least having something written down and having some consistency there, I think would help everybody.
But why are you putting stuff at the last second?
Well, some of these investigations take a long time, right? Some of them take a long time, and they can't be followed up on for whatever the hell reason.
Corwin, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
5 or 6 years ago, we had a statute of limitations that was 60 days.
Yup.
Oh.
And people still filed things on the last day.
Yup.
So
yeah, I mean,
I'm just going to tell you right now, the reason, and this is why I had to write FOIA into legislation, because and this is a kind of a sidetrack, but I'm making a point here. The Moulton thing said that in order to have a FOIA slam dunk guaranteed given to you with no questions asked, the incident had to be 4 days old, had to be not investigative, not active, blah blah blah. Right? There were a bunch of conditions.
Oh.
But what people read and interpreted from that MPD was, I'm not giving out any FOIAs unless it's been 4 days and it's not investigative and whatever. So it went from this is the way where you get a guaranteed FOIA delivery to I'm not doing it unless it meets this. And so what I'm trying to insinuate here is that
bad faith with it.
People look at something like statute of limitations and they don't go, well, 30 days is the maximum amount of time I have to press charges, but that, should really only be in like a really dire circumstance, and I should endeavor to press them as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Right.
Instead, people go, well, I got 30 days to press charges. What day is it? Oh, day 24. I got 6 days.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is that I think that we should encourage the opposite mentality. So, which is, people should endeavor to do things
as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I had a meeting about this just to I guess respond to that. I had a meeting about this a couple days ago. I think this was at the Shift 1 meeting where I brought that up specifically because this has happened several times where people wait till the last second on shit. And now sometimes, and in fact, from my understanding, it legitimately took this long to figure some of this shit out. And I know I approved a warrant that was on the last day, and I would not have approved it if it wasn't for something else that happened just a couple days prior that led me to believe that, okay, this is something that we should actually chase, and there's like a breadcrumbs here. Otherwise, you got to let this one go. It was to the officer that did that, that wanted to press it. So I said, you know what? There's something there. Go ahead and send it. I think what should happen in all these cases where somebody's trying to push a warrant at 29 days, I think that's up to us as command and high command to say, you know what? Not to be an inhibitor, but sometimes you gotta make an executive decision there and say, this is not one of that. You should have had this sooner. If it's not legitimate, then I'm not signing off on this. But if that happens under this legislation, it's no questions whatsoever. That warrant is out. That warrant is over. This thing is done. You can't go back to it. And then there's no more like
I'm so fucking lost. Holy shit.
Dead period between that 30 days and 32 days maybe when that warrant ends. Where people keep asking about shit. I don't know.
So, what do you think is the real root of the issue, Cornwood? Do you think the people just misunderstand how things work? I mean,
I think
I'll be honest with you, from the DOJ perspective, right? Because let's just put the cards on the table. From the DOJ perspective, this issue with Barry Benson, right?
Oh,
No,
really
he's
felt
at
like
his
to
parents'
us
house and he's at a
that
shitty
PD
mic.
effectively didn't get their shit together. No one pushed the arrest warrant. No one gave a shit and actually like went through and issued the arrest warrant despite having the evidence. And then
He said,
an officer
"Who's
who did
ready
give
for
a shit
Xbox
then
Mike
thought to
Cornwood?"
himself, well, if I file an arrest warrant and it's out of the statute of limitations like 2 days after I file it or a day after I file it, well, then I'm going to get screwed because we're not going to catch him in one day and it's going to run the statute of limitations and then, you know, the arrest warrant's invalid. So if I put it on the docket, then it kind of freezes time and I found a loophole to, you know, the whole statute of limitations issue. And to me, in the DOJ, we've had a long-standing policy that we do not docket normal quote unquote charges because otherwise police could, in theory, never reach a statute of limitations on a charge as long as they just, you know, put something up on the docket.
Right.
Because then they could amend their filing and include the evidence later and attach more witnesses later and all that, which, by the way, is one of the things Soze complained about with due process, where he got put on a hold and the judge approved the extension on the 24 hours to 72. And it's, you know, the Constitution says within 72, there has to be a filing on the docket. And there needs to be due process so that when the person is actually put on the hold, not investigative, but for the HUT, because the HUT's approved, due process says they got to get to see the evidence against them. So if PD gets this, you know, docket filing up there, but doesn't attach all the evidence, then it's kind of like a loophole where they get like extra time.
Right.
But this person's rights are then violated because they don't get to confront the evidence against them in the appropriate manner and time.
Right. I see what you're saying.
So it kind of, to me, it kind of feels like a moral issue where I would, and any other reasonable person, Cornwood, would agree with you and the rest of PD, in that morally, it does seem wrong that, you know, someone gets away with a crime because, you know, it doesn't get investigated or whatever. But although something may feel wrong morally, we can't jeopardize our due process and system of law to, you know, to get the bad guy just because we, you know, feel like it. Unfortunately, one of the hardest things about the law is that it has to be fair to everybody. So sometimes it helps you get the bad guy, and sometimes the bad guy walks scot-free and laughs in your face.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, I understand all that. The reason why I okayed this was, and I wasn't going to, but the reason why was there was another circumstance of the exact same thing happening with Barry Benson, and I mean, you know, I'm just speaking out here. It's same exact thing. 911 call, Barry Benson. Wish I could be there for you, TJ. I'm like, okay, this some bitch is, you know, he didn't get caught last month, and here you go. It's, you know, he's sending it again on damn Ursula. So shit. Okay, yeah. Look, this guy's asking for it. As far as I'm concerned, you're starting to mess with people, government officials, whatnot, or, you know, government employees. So that's the reason why I okayed it, because I thought this was one of them times where shit, why not?
Yeah.
But I agree with you, you know, 99%. This was just that one other time to me. And that's when this that's basically when this legislation would be used. What I would suggest, if it starts getting abused and all of a sudden it's happening all the time, people putting out warrants at 29 days, I mean, I would.
So what is the exact function of the legislation? You go over it again.
Basically, if you put out a warrant and that warrant extends past the 30-day statute, then the statute would be extended until the end of that warrant. But then as soon as that warrant expires, you can't you can't ask for the warrant to be renewed or anything like that. The only way that could happen is if it's a just standard infinite warrant, like the ICU situation we talked about, or capital charge,
Right.
things like that. But normally you can request for a warrant to get extended. But in this case, you would not be allowed to do that. It would just be the normal.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Wow.
That's ironic. So yeah, as far as I was concerned, that some bitch was asking for it. So I said, you know what? Shit, go ahead and send it. I'll approve the warrant on that. You got your PC here. Send it.
I think the issue is that they're already waiting until the very, very last second. Do we really want to encourage that even more? Like the Solomon charges, there was meant to be charges pressed alongside this impeachment that we're talking about. I was called in by Coyote the very final day. I didn't think anyone was even looking into it anymore. And suddenly he drops, "Hey, you still down to testify?" And I got called by Uriel like half an hour to the storm at the end of the day, asking if I'd still be willing to as well. I think by that point it was probably
Yeah.
out of statute of limitations, to be honest. But like, why does this keep happening?
Case in point.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think there's
as far as I'm aware, they had not found any
Rummy
new
things
information
down.
about that Solomon case in weeks. So I don't really know why it's at until lately.
So well, that's the thing. There was another shooting that occurred with the exact same shit.
No,
going
not
on.
that. The one I'm
the
referring
initial.
to is the case against
We're
Solomon.
talking about the Solomon
Yeah, the initial
accessory or whatever.
Yes, exactly. That was waiting until the last.
Yeah, I don't know
I
why
asked
the hell that took
Coyote
so
about
long.
it. I asked him about it, and he was still working on the. He had too much on him, and he didn't know how to prioritize. He prioritized poorly.
Yeah,
And
Looks
had
like
no concept of
they
time
all-
management skills.
Yeah, we just
That would be my
should be
understanding.
encouraging that, I guess, is my thing. I like
Yeah,
him a lot.
I
It
think-
does seem like he was in a rough spot.
He
Wanna
was.
just put it by legislation.
I think that is on us as command and high command to step in and
why-
correct that behavior more so than using this legislation as a crutch. But this legislation is going to be, because this has come up a few times. Like, it ain't just me, right? I mean, people asked about this several times, and
Why was
I just think it'd be nice to have a
somebody
clear
who's a
cut. Hey, this is how
probationary
it works. Period,
officer
point blank, end discussion.
assigned a case
And,
like
and
that?
that's it. If this is something that is abused, and we communicate, hell, I would communicate that to command and high command. If you're approving a warrant on something that's in, day 29, it better be a big ass deal. Because I'll be honest with you, if the news ain't picking up on it, then you probably
Well,
don't.
I
need
mean,
to be
let's call a spade, Cornwood. If something happened 29 days ago, there's almost no reason that it should be getting pursued on that 29th
hell,
day.
who gives a shit? Hell, I get that.
Well, it's just not even that. I'm not saying who gives a shit. I'm saying the circumstances I can come up with to justify why something would have to happen on the 29th day are extremely few, right? Like maybe, for example, someone gets murdered in cold blood, the PD have no leads, and then on the 29th day, someone gets arrested robbing a bank, and they're dumb enough to, like, while police are chasing them, run into their house. Police then hot pursuit, raid the house and find the hot gun from that murder. So then maybe I could be like, hey, we had no leads, and now all of a sudden we have a lead and we know who did it, so we have to file these charges.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I can understand that, but absent that kind of very unique circumstance, it really just feels like we're just putting a band-aid on people not doing their job.
Yeah, it's fair.
And I look, I want to enable those rare circumstances. But gosh, like I said, even in that rare circumstance that I just described, that would be a docket filing because it would be a capital case, right?
Right.
But I can't for the life of me think of a fucking circumstance that would
merit. I'm pretty sure probationary just means that they're just a solo.
Like we're talking
officer.
about, Ursula getting shot,
death,
right? And that, that's awful and shouldn't happen. But are we really gonna make an exception of like our entire system of justice to enable the police to hunt for somebody who shot somebody a month ago for 3 extra days?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
say
I see
probably
what you're
not.
saying.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'm right there with you morally. Hell, you know, shit. At a certain point, I just wish we could, you know, hell, when people come into town, there should be a picture of, you know, a giant pit of coals. And it should be like, you do any of these crimes, you walk the coals. You know what I mean?
Hell,
Like,
I would love that shit.
Yeah, I'm down for that shit. You know, because I think, you know, you pay the consequences up front. You know what they are up front. And therefore, when the time's to come to pay them, nobody's surprised, right? But it ain't like that. And I just don't know if I can justify giving, you know, people an out on this shit. Because then it just God.
Well, I
then
mean,
it just becomes a fucking habit at that point. It's like I told you, it's like this FOIA shit. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, guys, you know, well, I got to write this arrest warrant, but well, I got you know, there's like 4 days in the statute of limitations. Well, that's tough, you know.
yeah, I mean, we could always repeal it if we think the PD is abusing it. We just have to vote to repeal it, right? Just like the DOC legislation.
I know they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, they may, but I think it's a command high command issue, right? Because we're the ones approving warrants, so we need to not let that happen.
But you just got to do it within 30 days instead of 33 or 34 days.
Yeah. 30's
I mean,
a
I
long
feel
fucking
like
time.
There's
Tell you
always
what.
gonna be.
I mean, I agree.
Hold on. How about this? How about this? Let's do this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we table the issue? And why don't we? And I'll promise you this, Cornwood. Let's say for some reason you don't get voted in as liaison again, which I doubt it.
Yeah,
well, you are high command, but but let's just say this. Why don't we do this? Let's table the issue, and why don't you do this for me? How about in the last 3 weeks of your term, you look for me for any situation that your legislation would help, right? And if there are situations you can bring to me, you know, in the next 3 weeks or whatever, or historical ones where you can show me that, you know, this is a good reason to enact this kind of legislation. Here's a situation that would help. And, you know, I can look into that situation and it didn't go to 30 days because of, you know, someone fucking up or command, you know, ignoring it or people not doing their job. Then I'll submit the legislation myself. But okay. I got to tell you right now, I
mean, it's
the
it's
examples that we're working from. I think the hard truth of it, and I know that you're the kind of person who's not going to talk bad about anybody, so I'll do it for you. I think the truth is that the situations that happen that we're talking about are a systemic series of failures on the PD's side, where a bunch of people didn't do their job and or didn't do their job properly. And so you got this fucking young buck running around trying to juggle everything who is just not, you know, not equipped. And maybe no one's equipped to juggle that much bullshit, right? It's no slight against him. I'm just citing a fact here. Mm-hmm. It's not a judgment. It's not a personal thing. I'm not insulting the person.
No, he's
I'm just saying perhaps this is a system of circumstance. And perhaps legislation is not going to solve that because the circumstances are not about, you know, problems with procedure, but rather people. And so why don't we try to see if which one it is first? You know what I mean?
That sounds
no, I think that's
weird
fine.
to me.
I mean, I have at least one that comes to mind immediately, or one other one that comes to mind immediately. But if we just want to set this aside, we can just and see what happens. Because I do think it's pretty rare that this legislation would be actively being used, right? This would just help cover those times that it does.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that's something we can talk about separately too, because like I said, I'm on your side morally. Yeah, I think maybe we table that for a little bit, and we'll see what shakes out when we discuss it separately. Did you have anything else to propose, Cornwood?
The other one is that strike point system for street racing that we talked about.
Oh, right.
Anything up?
So we said we didn't want to do VAF points because they would overlap and it would get up there too fast. And I personally believe that 3 is too little. I think it, listen, some of these guys, they go out there and they got fast cars and shit. I get it. Okay. You want to go out and you want to send it a little bit. So I said, we come up with a new strike system, and this new strike system would be a I wanted to call it the stoppage of street racing infrastructure. And the point is that we want to stop these guys over time from using their vehicles for street races. You'd give them, I said, somewhere between 6 to 8 strikes each time they're caught with a street racing charge. We'd put a strike on their vehicle, street racing strike. So they get that strike.
Does street racing make you depressed?
No, not necessarily.
You know what your acronym spells out, right?
SSRI.
Yeah, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's hilarious.
That's kind of funny.
Anyway, I wasn't sure if you were making a point with that or not.
No, that's just kind of how it
I'm
happened.
sure you were just saying street racing makes you depressed. I was like, I get it. They are assholes.
No, maybe that's the other thing.
They are assholes.
Yeah, I mean, they're just running over everybody. Somebody's getting depressed. So, or hell, maybe they'll be depressed after they get enough strike points.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I was
maybe
thinking,
if you get convicted of street racing, you're mandated to go on SSRIs.
Yeah, you're also
maybe you'll stop seeking a thrill then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It works out.
Make me feel like my skin is crawling.
Well,
that's depressing.
So I guess I'll never be a street racer then.
Anyway,
I would love to.
So how many strikes do you think would be like appropriate?
I don't think it should be too little because some of these guys, they get excited, they got fast cars, they want to go send it. And look, I understand, but there's got to be a line here. I do think it should be probably. It's really damn hard to catch these guys, and it's really damn dangerous. I get it. But if we're seizing the vehicle altogether, I think it should probably be greater than 5 or 6. I was thinking maybe up to 8 even. I don't want it to be like 3. I think 3. Now I don't know how, because here's the thing. I wasn't around when street racing was real big years ago. Street racing became a huge pandemic after I left. So I don't know how often we catch these fellas. And I heard that it is hard as shit to catch these guys to begin with. And it's already, in current state of things, I don't even think we caught one. But we've seen it. So what I think we can do is it might be better to start with a low number with this legislation. And then over time, we can amend it and we can raise it if people are getting, if there's a whole bunch of strike points going out early on, then I say shit, we can knock it up a little bit and say it's like 8, going up from like 5 or 6, just depending on how much is happening.
What if instead it was like a cool down? So it's like you're flagged as a street racer and like you got to go 30 days without, and you're flagged as a street racer. Maybe you get like more fines for wreck driving and speeding and shit.
Mm.
That might be like more simple than like trying to like part out how many strikes.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I think it might be more complicated to find them more for reckless driving and whatnot. For like their traffic citations are 50%.
Well, if you have the vehicle like logged, right, like that it's been caught in a street race, then Yeah, like it would just be like a multiplier.
Yeah, but in the way that we stat people, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you could do it manually. I mean, I will say this: if you get your ass caught like 8 times, hell, even 5 or 6 times street racing in a vehicle, that's dangerous as shit. You probably shouldn't have that vehicle. You probably are not. It's like negligent ownership of a vehicle at that point.
Shouldn't even be street racing. You're probably pretty fucking bad
The
at it.
owner of a vehicle.
Yeah, hell, you probably shouldn't be driving.
Well, hold on. We don't gotta judge people. No one taught me to drive. I don't really understand the rules of the road, so I take a lot of shortcuts. But it seems to work out well for me.
Yeah, well, hell, I mean, you ain't street racing, so it's okay.
I fucking love my car.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not
never
gonna lie,
mind.
that might be me breaking.
I'm worried
fate.
about this applying to
I'd
people
drive
who just
fast as
happen to
hell.
drive really fast.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
talking about anyone in particular there, Siobhan?
Nope, I have no concerns about any particular human beings. I'm just concerned about the people who drive fast in general.
I'm also a person who drives fast in general.
Okay, great. Yeah,
So
I
I
was
can't-
talking about
I can't
myself.
even-
Okay, myself and Cantor.
I guess yeah. How do you like? Is it if you're charged with a street racing charge, it like as a modifier after the fact or something, where you get like more fines? How exactly? I guess it could work.
I mean, the point would be is, I mean, nothing would happen until you
Sure.
get all your strikes, and then
Okay.
then your vehicle will get seized. And then hell, you want a new vehicle, go buy yourself a new one.
I mean, yeah, I do agree that people should get their vehicles seized.
Oh.
Now I think it's
Mhm.
this has been brought up to me.
One
This
second,
actually,
I gotta be in my head for 30 seconds. Can we take like a 1 minute?
Yeah,
Sure.
you know what?
Very
I
quick-
also
very
I
quick
needed
breather,
to
very quick
debate.
breather.
Okay, can we make it 120 seconds?
okay. Well, 140.
140
Okay,
sounds good.
140.
Alright.
Starting
Okay.
now.
Okay.
I don't even own a car.
Proud of you, Glenn.
So hold on a second. Are you telling me they're losing their cars for speeding, or is that your goal?
Man, I don't really like this fucking flavor of drink. On a scale of 1 to 10, how done is Alex? I don't know. I just woke up, went to the meeting. This sounds a lot more reasonable than what he was proposing the other week. What drink you got? It's my the tub of gamer stuff that I've been waiting on for fucking 20 days now, pretty much. I got the flavor Grandpa's Ashes. But it kind of tastes like ashes, and I don't know how I feel about that. It kind of actually tastes like ashes. It's supposed to be like a raspberry flavor, but I can't tell what's going on in this. Hold on, let me look up what this flavor tastes like, or is supposed to taste like. Does it actually taste like old people too? The fuck is that? What kind of question is that? What a dingus ass question, dude. Would you call that false advertisement though? No. Hold on, let me see what the. Does it taste chalky? No. Which is one of the reasons why I get it.
Really strong meeting so far, everyone. Keep up the good work.
You too, Lynn.
Well, thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn.
Okay, so can you guys explain to me how these car points work? I don't understand it.
So I was told this is something that happened years ago, where these vehicles would get strike points for street
It's
racing.
also like
And then
a little bit heavy on the die, which I'm not
they
really
would
a fan
be
of.
seized if they were used too much, because it's like, oh look, it's this car.
Whatever is
Okay,
used to
clearly
diet.
this guy has this car and he's running into people and he's causing all kinds of mess, destruction, all kinds of bullshit. in the
Ah,
city.
yes. Red
This
40.
person they should not own this vehicle when it gets to a certain
Awesome.
point.
Okay.
The
Okay, so there's not a point system on the car specifically. You want there to be a point system, and the only way to lose a car right now is violent felonies, correct? With
Correct.
the car. Okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Now,
sweet raspberry
what this
cream.
would do is obviously we're stopping these guys from using
So I
these
was like,
vehicles
oh
for street
yeah, that
racing.
sounds good, you know?
They obviously don't even need. I mean, look, that is negligent. You don't need that car if you're doing that with it.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds good.
But
It's
at the same time,
irresponsible.
yeah, completely
I don't
irresponsible.
think I'm gonna be drinking
But I
this
will
one much.
say,
It's alright though, because I got a
believe if
tub
we
of
can,
mango as
so we'll
well.
send it a couple times. Let's see what happens. Hey, look, I
Raspberry
get it.
cream, yeah.
All right, kids will be kids. But start abusing that, and all of a sudden we're talking like 6, 7, 8 times. Come
Was
on,
there a
son,
verdict
bitch,
on
you
the
know what you're
ramen
doing,
fries?
okay? You
Nobody's
don't deserve
talked to
that
me
shit.
about the ramen fries yet.
You didn't earn
I
that.
see, I see.
I think that
Okay.
that little bit of added risk is gonna uh I think it's important. But if it's too much, I mean shit. I'm just gonna keep it real. If we're too strict on it, all of a sudden you're gonna start seeing street racing turn to shootouts. And I don't want it too strict.
I'm
There's
not
just gotta be a little
Canadian,
bit of
so,
risk.
you know.
Makes
Okay.
sense to me.
Yeah. Honestly, you're not wrong.
And I think we should start at a lower number, and then based on how often this is actually happening, I think it would be wise to bump it up a little bit, because same thing, right? If all of a sudden, because the racers are going to know, if all of a sudden, they're getting a bunch of people caught out of the blue, and there's like, let's say 5 or 4, whatever the number is, and they're like, oh shit, they're going to start getting real aggressive real early. So what we need to do is, okay, we see this is happening. PD liaison's job, I'll see there's a lot of street racing charges going out. Hey, I'm going to be wise here, and we're going to meet them in the middle. Let's take that 5 and let's move it up to 6 or 7 or an 8 or whatever.
Now, isn't your goal at the end of this number to take the car permanently, or do you want to just impound it for a set period of time?
I think it should
You
be taken
can put
permanently.
their car in car jail.
Yeah, their car is going to be a lifer.
What?
Yeah.
So sad.
Oh, cars
my
are meant to be
God.
driven, not sit in prison for life.
Now, if that car's doing crime,
Like, was a car doing crime or were
Fair,
people doing
fair.
crime?
Yeah,
Oh,
cars
God.
can't do
Cornwood,
crime.
come
okay,
on!
it's
Cornwood!
people. It's
What?
people. I get that.
Okay, so
I
there
get
we go.
that.
It's people. It wasn't the car doing the crime.
But they're
Yeah, but
using
that-
the car
Cornwood,
to
I would
commit
have
the
figured you to be
crime.
one of those guns don't kill people, I kill people. kind
Yeah,
of
sure. That's why I take their
That's why
gun.
that's why he agreed with me, and he said, "Well, it's people committing crime, not the car."
But that car is registered to him, so we're going to take that registration or his name off of that registration.
So should we take?
When we take it and we'll put it in, we'll put it out for auction. It goes towards the budget, PD budget, state budget.
Not
What if you
your
just
Wait, that's a
gave
great
those
idea.
cars to the cops to drive to catch other cars?
Oh, that sounds great. I love that. Throw a light bar on it. Shit. Well, hold on. Now at that point, we're going to end up catching everybody, because those things. I'm telling you, I saw Gauntlet earlier today. I had a daydream today. Okay, where I was dreaming earlier today. Yeah, I had a dream earlier today. I was taking a nap, and I'm here walking in the parking lot, and I see a gray Gauntlet, and my heart stopped. I'm telling you, my heart stopped, and I said, "Holy shit, what's wrong with me?" I'm having I have cold sweat. I wake up and say, "Holy shit."
Sorry about that, y'all.
Hey, go right ahead. I
That's
know.
all right. Oh.
You don't
Just
gotta.
needed a moment. Good to go.
At your age, it's okay. She just crying. I understand. Getting there too.
You're looking great, Corbin. Don't you worry. So the
I
floor
mean,
racing thing is the final. Like, what's your final pitch that you're looking for us to go for?
I think
is
that's
it
what
adding
they
racing
actually
to the
do
decks,
mean.
or because we kind of spitballed a couple things. What's your final pitch here?
Every time they get a street racing charge, just as if
Yeah,
it
they
were
have to be
a
caught.
violent felony, they're going to get a different type of strike, not a VAF. They'll get
Okay.
an SRS, right? Street
Because
racing strike, and
yeah, that's not gonna.
we'll have, let's say, I think our starting number maybe is 5, and then if they're getting a bunch of them real fast, then we'll revisit it and we'll bump it up to a 6, 7, 8, whatever. We kind of play by ear, because if it's too low, they're going to get aggressive. They're going to start shooting people, and we don't want that. We just want that added risk. And they gotta look. You get caught 6, 7, 8 times. Holy shit, right? You don't deserve to have that car. I do, with a light bar on it and a minigun on top.
Minigun.
Well, we don't go there. It's fine.
How long would it take for these strikes to expire, or do they?
Well, they wouldn't expire.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, let's say you buy a car $100,000, you get that thing tricked out, whatever, 110, 120, who knows? It might take you well over a month or 2, hell, maybe even 3 to hit that number. They can afford new. If they really want to keep street racing after they get this shit taken away, they can afford a new car.
I think it might upset some people quite a
Yeah.
lot.
I think.
I would love
What's
that.
what's the evidentiary standard? You have to catch them racing in the car.
Same thing as a same thing as a street racing charge. Same PC. Same as the PC rented street racing charge. Doesn't have to be their vehicle either. If it's a vehicle owned by a citizen of Los Santos, is what I had written down.
So if it
Would
was
this
someone
just
else's
be-
car, there'd have to be no signs of tampering.
Nope. If it doesn't matter, because here's what's going to happen.
What?
People are going to read that legislation and they are going to
Oh no.
loophole. Okay, let's
Uh-oh.
look, steal my car for me. Okay.
Timo, no.
Hey, let me borrow your car, and you borrow my car, and we're gonna street race each other. It's a big loophole.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if it has tampering,
Corbin,
Does
I
that
ain't
mean that it
getting no
doesn't
racing
count?
strike.
No, I'm
Timo,
saying
come
that
back.
it even if it's tampered, whatever, it doesn't matter as long as it's owned by a citizen of Los Santos. That car gets a strike.
so why wouldn't I just then go steal someone's car to go street race?
Yeah, steal my car and then I get it. Well,
I
why
mean,
does that make
that
sense?
might happen.
Well, hell no.
Yeah, I can't
Well, these
vote
are
for
points
that.
that are
I
You
don't
gotta-
intend to
you
get
gotta-
any street
yeah.
racing
Well,
strike.
Murphy, you got to secure your vehicle.
I do, but that's not the point. The point is like, what if for whatever reason for a few minutes I can't, and then someone steals it and goes street racing? Why the fuck is that my problem?
Well, don't get your car stolen.
No,
I
absolutely
think my
not.
car's
Corbin.
been stolen while I was on duty at the hospital before, and I didn't notice because I was saving lives. So, like,
Hey,
I-
you got
what
your
do you do
valet at the
then?
hospital now.
I do. That is true, but not everywhere has it. You might have a genuine reason to have it out somewhere.
I mean, I think it's more. I think it's more likely that they figure out this loophole of stealing each other's cars than it is the opposite, where they're like, let's go steal some civilian's car and use it for a street race. But it is, you're right, it is a thing.
I don't hate a couple of the ideas here, but I don't know if I'm here for the finished product. I think it just also be a lot to track too. Like I hear like VAFs are a fucking struggle already.
Yeah, I was
So
about-
now
They
you have
are, but it's the
that
same way.
and
I
another
feel like they should
scale.
figure out VAFs before
Yeah,
we
now
add
we
another
have
system.
we have strike points, VAFs.
Let's nail the
and
one we
fuel
have
system.
first
Well,
before we add more.
the VAP point system is figured out.
In theory, yes. In practice, I don't think so.
It seems like a lot to track for each car. You have like 3 different numbers attached to it.
Can y'all just imagine if you got gangs
Don't think that's right.
stealing each other's cars to use them in street races, so they start striking each other's cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me
That
ask
is
you
Start
this,
Hey,
stealing
Gordon.
your car and
On
use
that
it in a
topic,
street
on that
race.
topic,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm like,
Hey,
I'm
wait,
like,
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
start
no,
stealing
no,
Tauruses
my
for
car
street
is
races.
secured. Hey, my car is secured. Okay,
They will
From
steal
when,
your
how many
got-
car.
times has your car been stolen?
once, and it was because Bones was driving it.
Yeah, but
It
you're
is the
not gonna
only
strike
time.
the car, is what I'm saying.
That's funny.
It's not going to
Okay.
apply to your car.
Yeah.
Hey, that's officer discretion.
I'm with Cantor. I like where your head's at. I'm just not sure on the execution.
And you got to realize, not everything that they talk about.
'Cause
Gets
I don't know
passed
how
through.
to. Because the
They always
alternative
hash
is
it
they're just
out.
going to start stealing each other's cars, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Yeah.
unlikely that they steal a
Which is
random civilian's
something
car
I-
to do this, because they want to drive their own fast cars.
Don't think a lot of people realize
Okay,
when they
well,
get
if
up
they
in
steal a
arms.
random civilian's car, then you look at that random civilian, they're not a street racer, and you don't give them the points. If
I
they're
mean,
doing
that
that
could-
to each other, that's
I
fine.
mean, that's port officer discretion.
No, but like I'm saying, that should be part of like, this is how you do this. Like, it shouldn't just be like, oh, if someone steals my car, you look at my profile, oh, no street racing, but fuck him, give him the strike point. Shouldn't work that way.
Well, now you got your clean guy for vehicles.
Oh my god, we're creating clean guys for vehicles.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm,
no.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
you got a
create
car wash.
every outlying contingency to
Oh, this would be funny.
support this street racing shit. It is, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I'd rather just increase fines for shit when street racing is bad than put us and everyone else in the city like on the hook for losing their car if the meta becomes stealing other people's cars.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Look, at a certain point, I guess we have to ask ourselves this: is, currently, right? There are punishments for robbing a bank. The reason why we have the VAF system is because people who commit heinous crimes like shootings and kidnappings and such in their personally owned vehicles, well, they shouldn't be able to repeatedly use that vehicle to do something like that because it is inherently so injurious to the public, right? They're literally committing violent crimes with it. I don't know if I can get over the hump of why street racing would require the extra oomph. Like, we're already, I'm pretty sure I made the charge pretty severe, didn't I?
Yeah, I think this gives us look, these guys are pushing marijuana.
I mean,
These
it's
guys
7 points on your license to
That is a
street
lot
race.
of points.
It is a lot
Plus,
of fun.
plus it's going to be reckless evading when they run from the cops, right? So that's number 3. So you lose half your license for one street racing arrest. You get caught twice, you have no license. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm thinking about it as like a like these guys are slinging drugs, doing all kinds of illegal shit. They're making all kinds of money. If they do happen to get caught enough times where their vehicle gets taken away from them, and they got to go spend another 100 grand on another car, then that's part of it. That hell, you got to go back to work, son. You got to make sure you're not just showing up here and you're street racing shit. I mean, you got bills to pay. You end up just showing up every week and doing a street race and getting caught, whatever, and then what? It ain't gonna last forever. You're gonna have to go back to your normal life at some point. And you want to keep doing this thing, you're getting caught every week, then go get a job. Lazy ass. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
Yeah.
I think we've, beat the horse to death on this. So why don't we just put it to vote then? So the system as proposed would be strikes for street racing. You said you wanted to be more than 3. What was the number you settled on?
I said it should. Maybe we start at 5 or 6, and then we monitor it, and we can raise it if there's a bunch of strikes going out early. Then I say we
All right.
we raise it a little bit because if it's
So-
too little, then people are going to start shooting people. And
So let's start out with any vehicle. Are you doing the tampering thing, or are you saying no matter what?
I think no matter what.
Fuck.
Okay, so any vehicle, no matter whether tampered with or not, that is registered to a personally owned civilian, right? MDT profile and such.
Yeah.
We'll say a tax-paying citizen, not a local.
There you go.
Any vehicle that is registered to a tax-paying citizen that is found to have engaged in a street race, regardless of the circumstances of who's driving it, that vehicle will get 1 strike. And under the proposed legislation, 6 strikes against a vehicle would render that vehicle forfeit in the same way that the VAST system occurs, where it would then be auctioned off to a civilian.
Yes.
Okay. So Cornwood obviously is a yay.
Well, let's not
Um,
say auctioned off to a civilian just yet. I mean, that's one of the
What?
ideas. But
Okay, so
it'll
we'll say with a room for amendment for what happens when we get there.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
So
I would
Cornwood's
also add room
obviously-
for
oh,
amendment
yeah.
for the amount of strikes.
Amount of strikes.
Also add
Okay, we'll start at 5 or 6 and go from there. Okay, so Cornwood's the 8. We'll just go clockwise. Murphy.
As is, it's gonna have to be a no, but I am supportive of continuing to develop some kind of system. But the way it's described, it's got to be a no to.
Siobhan.
No for now.
Glenn, Mr. Frugal.
I'm also a no for now. I like the idea. I think it might be better if the points drop off eventually, or maybe even it's a timed impound.
Oh, so maybe maybe a street racing impound is like a longer impound than normal.
I would be okay with
That's
that.
not terrible.
I like that.
Well, so here's my issue with that is like
Fucking goddamn it,
this
Cornwood.
guy's got to go to work the next day maybe, and
Use their not street racing car.
yeah.
Yeah,
but I
you
mean,
said they make money off of drugs. Surely they can buy a cheap car.
Yeah, I get that. It's just
You know, get your beater car for the commute.
I don't want these guys to. I don't want them to get depressed, okay? Because they had their car, their car impounded for extra long.
They'd
And
be
then-
more
and then-
mad if they lost
Yeah, I
the
think
car.
you're-
Yeah, but
Do it more.
it takes much longer for that to happen, and I think if it happens right off the rip, then it's
Well-
oh shit. I'm just gonna stay in my room all day, and I don't want to get up no more.
I think
I'll
it
get up
should
in
be, let's say you get 3 points, your car gets impounded for 2 weeks or something, and then it resets.
Yeah, I can get behind that. That is incentive to at least stop doing it as much. It's a little bit more in the moment, right? I think the longer term you make the punishment for it, the more people just, I don't know, also won't care about it. But then they suddenly will when they hit a certain amount of points. But by that point, there's nothing they can do about it, so they're just going to get mad.
Yeah, I just
I think a closer punishment that's not as final to me makes sense.
I believe in as much freedom as possible.
Mhm.
And if
Then why
they
does he
want
wanna
to go
take the
out
car-
there and they want to test their luck,
I don't get it.
hey, I want to street race every day. Well, hey, you got X amount of chances. Good luck. And I don't want them to have to not, I don't want to infringe on their, damn
Do you
right.
think
to
that
street
would make
race for
sense
2
if their
weeks
events
with that
draft
vehicle,
is like in 3.0?
unless
No,
it gets
I'm
real
s-
bad.
Well, the
Well,
general
I'm
idea
saying
of
it's the
4.0
same
was that
point
nothing you had
system,
was
but instead
permanent.
of taking the car, you just impound it for 2 weeks.
Well, okay, let's it sounds like the vote has given way to more discussion. So why don't we consider this a work in progress? Maybe Cornwood can update, in terms of the feedback that's been given. And maybe we, have a second discussion on this next week.
Let's do that. I'll see
Okay,
if I can.
because I think there's been a lot of good ideas brought up. So
yeah.
And I will give you guys great news and not so great news.
And
the great news
do
is
also
I was
think
able
that
to
your
use the
cars shouldn't
MDT.
be permanent, but
The not so great news is
All right,
all I
none of your
managed to do
assets should
was
be
delete a city council report that Max had titled test, and then it stopped working again.
Oh shit! That was for his testosterone therapy.
Oh well. Rip.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
He needed to stop doing that anymore because of his heart problems. All right, it's for the best.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was his cholesterol test.
Hey, it's kind of a non sequitur, but you ever think about the fact that the reason why dogs are so cuddly is because we cut their balls off?
Well, maybe.
Effectively just make them like, literally, neutered fucking pussies.
So you're saying we selectively bred them to traits that we found cute. And then also with violence. We domesticated them with violence.
Okay, so should we do the same thing to criminals?
That is the bridge too far.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where you were going with that.
I heard a crazy story in the hospital the other day about someone's testicle being replaced with a clown nose. So there's options. If we have to reach that point, my doctors are prepared.
It's good to know.
Yep. Imagine intercourse with that person, man, just squeaking every time.
I don't need to imagine.
Yep. No, I don't.
It's in my mind already. I'm imagining it. Why did you do this to me? I need mind.
Crane's imagining a solution to our street racing problem.
Yeah, guys, I think we should buy an airplane.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The
Okay.
state account's rich as fuck. What kind of airplane? 747?
A G6.
My ex-wife was like a bounce house and a chew toy combined.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna need a second to process that.
Oh wow!
That's a crazy statement.
What?
What?
Said what I said.
What?
Okay. I don't have any questions actually. Good shit. There you go.
okay.
A bounce house and a chew toy at the same
chew
time?
toy?
Okay.
So you'd get inside her and she'd smell like drool.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh.
She started out smelling like drool.
awful.
He said bounce house. Don't you climb inside him?
Yep, you sure do.
Yep.
You sure do. And the chew toy smells like drool. I see.
Like
Bounce house
dog
might smell like drool too.
Honestly, yeah.
Well,
Shit my pants in the bounce house once.
Plant
if I had
horse
pearls,
in a
I would
well,
be
we
clutching
gotta
them.
meet
I was a
him.
kid. I was a
I
kid. I
would
was
be
in 7th
clutching
grade.
I've learned so much today.
That's not the best place to do that, though.
No. No.
yeah. What happens when you flip up? Oh, that's.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
anywhere is the best place to shit yourself.
No, but like a
I'll
pool, a
take-
trampoline, and a bounce
A
house.
pool
is
is
the
not
worst.
a good place to shit yourself.
toy at the same
Well, no,
time?
it ain't bad. You just,
that what he
wash it off.
said?
I gotta wipe it.
Wait,
Oh,
ain't seventh grade like 13 years old?
Yes, it's 13 years
Oh,
old.
God damn it!
you are not that young.
Oh my
I had diarrhea.
Oh god.
Bad batch of corn.
Oh, God.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Well, this is a very productive session.
That's disgusting.
Do you have anything else, Corn?
But so the shit was filled with kernels? I'm sorry.
All right,
I
let me amend what Murphy just asked. Cornwood, do you have any legislative proposals remaining?
No.
Because
I am all cleared
yeah.
out as well.
Okay.
that's
Glad
great
to
to
hear
know.
that.
Fiber is important. All right, Murphy, By the way, Murphy, I did manage before my MDT died. I did manage to see what you had written about Angel's thing with Solomon. That is in the works.
Cool. Yeah,
That
that's,
is
I was at that court case,
actually it
so
might even be fucking functional now. I'm not exactly sure.
I just think like doing that and whatever number they can fucking access, like that's fine. Like as long as that's there, though, they're covered.
Yeah, the way I
think it's
understand it, there will be a definitive method to share documents permanently to someone's state ID, regardless of their phone number.
Nice.
So that should resolve that. Yeah, anything else besides that one? Sorry, again, the MDT died, so I didn't get to review everything.
Let's see. I don't think so.
Did not sleep very many hours
yeah,
today.
no.
Couldn't fall
Okay.
back asleep.
Let's go to
Just wanna-
Siobhan.
All right. Well, like you said, MDT broken, but I copy and pasted some things into my personal notebook. One of them is a fishing license. The other one is a liquor license. With the advent of business licenses, there are restaurants wanting to establish a liquor license, and also that legislation would also establish a legal drinking age of 21 plus. Liquor licenses would be available for a $15,000 fee to retail sellers of alcohol, where expectations of industry standards are delineated below, which is 1, ensuring all patrons are not overserved, and 2, ensuring all patrons are 21 plus. If someone is found to be serving alcohol to someone under the age of 21, they would receive a strike point or a warning point for the first time, but a second time
Wait,
they
why
would.
21?
What do you mean, why 21?
Well, I mean, when I said why 21?
I mean, we can drop it a little bit.
I mean, we could do it 25 because our brains aren't finished developing and it's harmful.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, you
Hold on.
need a little liquor to help your brain develop the right way.
So
Hell
21
yeah.
is fine.
Yeah, but
21 ounces of liquor, maybe. For a kid.
Listen,
You're old
I
enough
think
to
if
think
you're
you're old
an
enough to drink.
18-year-old has
if
any business
you're
drinking.
old enough to vote, you should be old enough to drink.
Oh my God, Alan.
What?
I mean, that's
We must
We
protect
all
the
drank
youth.
before 18
Wait,
anyway.
so you're telling
Why
me-
would-
You're telling me that poor little Tugs
Poor Tug.
gets to vote for and run for office,
Felonious.
but then
Tugs, yes?
you want to tell little Tugs that he can't drink after he could have voted for you? That seems wrong.
well, I changed my
You're
mind.
old-
I like this.
Yes,
You're old
now.
enough
Yes.
to
that
fight
is
in a war,
exactly
you're
what
old
I
enough
was
to drink.
thinking.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
I am for it for that exact. Yes, I do not want. Yes, Lil Tugs has no business drinking.
I think the
Until he's
lower
at
the
the age of
age
21.
that people can drink, the faster their livers will fail, and the more business I get at the hospital.
Oh, that's a good point.
Say
That is a good.
He's only 19. I would say, "Yeah, sure as shit you are. Here's your damn citation."
Wait, Glenn, what do you
Perfect.
think?
Well, I don't know who this little Tug is, but I think you gotta start somewhere with the age. 21 seems like a good number.
Thank you, Glenn.
Hmm.
Glenn, you remember your first beer?
No.
Good man.
Seems like we might be deadlocked on this one, so I'm gonna have to table that.
yeah, maybe.
Looks like we're 3-3.
But the rest of it sounds good. I know we kind of got stuck on the legal drinking age, but
Yeah.
Right.
but
Okay.
it's not bad, isn't it?
I was also gonna add. Okay, so like a second part of that is alcohol distribution license is available for a $20,000 fee for distributors of alcohol. Strict
what's-
industry standards will be delineated that they have to ensure all sales are business to business only, so they can only engage in business to business sales, right? They can only sell to establishments with valid liquor licenses. So for businesses that are set up as distributors, they might want an alcohol distribution license.
Eh,
Yeah, you hate this? Tell me why.
seems like pointless regulation.
Oh, Alan, you're being
I got
so
some of that.
you're being so
Mhm.
Texan right now.
I mean,
Listen, I've been firm on the kids in the coal mine smoking crack.
yeah, crack is
That
bad.
is not a
Can I
place
ask a
to smoke.
question?
Yeah, what's going on, Alex?
Good point, Glenn. Great point. That is not a good place to smoke.
What's the Ireland drinking age?
16.
12.
16 at bars.
When
I'm
you have
pretty
your
sure
first
when I was
alcohol?
9 in Italy.
You can drink inside of the home at the age of 5, which is what I did. Clearly.
Yes.
I was in a
18-year-olds
restaurant.
can't drink legally. They're just going to do cocaine. And like I said, if you can
Well, I
fight
do
in a
love
war, you can
cocaine.
drink.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
why is moonshine illegal?
Because it's unregulated and you can go blind.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you can't just be drinking like bathtub distillery.
Well, and here's the
stuff.
real answer.
mean,
and here's the
did.
real answer. Even if you take the extreme libertarian approach to that, right? The real answer would be, from my point of view, is that you're stealing from the state, because effectively, you're providing a service that is not in any way covered by the state, whether it's taxation or
Hey,
anything.
moonshine
You're not in the marketplace. You're acting outside of it.
alcohol was $200
Not
a
to
bottle.
mention, it's, fucking
weeks
shit
ago.
blows up. They're doing it on, random. I mean, hell, those things have been found all over the place.
Yeah.
What if we made it legal to where you could have one bottle of moonshine?
Just possess it. How you get it?
Just the possession charge right now is anything greater than 0.
Oh,
What
you
if we made
found
anything
it,
greater than
Alan.
1?
There's just free drugs and liquor on the street. Just free drugs everywhere.
Yeah, I found it.
Floor score.
Where?
I got it at the apartments from the older kids.
I would not trust that.
Yeah, it's risky to take floor drugs, Glenn. I
I've
wouldn't
taken
recommend.
floor drugs before. There was just cocaine on the fucking counter in the bathroom of the hospital back in the day. I'd do hits
You
of that
just
all
do
the time.
it. It was right there.
I think
You know,
Nick
one
Simone was
day-
leaving it, but look at mine now.
One day we did come in here for a meeting, and there was moonshine next to every chair.
That's true. We just
That's
found
the
it.
one good thing Michael's ever done.
Wait, that was Michael.
I have no idea who that was.
It was. It
You
was
snitch, Canner.
No, he brought the coffee
It's
machine
out of
too.
30 days. Thank you. And he's not even in office anymore.
All right.
And I complimented him. So, it's the one time you'll ever hear that.
That's true. You said something nice about Michael. This is actually a monumental occasion. I actually thought you weren't capable.
I've done it twice recently, but God, please don't tell him.
Crazy. I won't. It's our secret. It won't leave this room. It's not recorded.
Thank God. Thank fucking
Michael,
God.
doesn't
documented.
seem like a half bad guy when he's not, international arms trafficking
Yeah.
and
He
terrorizing and
hasn't
murdering.
done that in a really
Uh,
long time.
That's why I said when he's not
Yeah,
doing
just
that.
making sure. He's a real nice guy, okay?
Sure.
Sounds
that
like
reminds
a
me.
crime to me.
He
Yeah.
takes me to really pretty places to think about life. That's
He
not
cries
something.
to me a lot about his son. I don't know how
Oh,
nice
he
that
does
is.
do that. He does
does
cry
do
about his
that.
son. To be
Sense of
fair,
a
if your
theme
son was
here.
if your son was Rod Long, you would cry too.
You know what? Good point. Good fucking point.
Oh hell!
Wait, hold on.
What?
Listen, I'm not a detective or nothing. But wasn't Michael Simone dating Jenny Hall?
Okay.
I
well,
don't think
that's
they're
uh,
officially dating.
Well, no, way back when. Wasn't she accused of like being
Maybe?
involved with him and all this?
Oh, yes,
yes,
but
yes,
she was.
Yeah.
what's new?
Well, I'm just pointing out I've never been taken to somewhere beautiful to think about things by Michael Simone, but Jenny Hall certainly has, and
I am not dating Michael
Siobhan
Simone. Okay, I am
and
still married.
Cantor.
Oh, I
It
mean,
just seems like there's this
are
like
you-
common theme of redheads and Michael Simone.
someone
no.
told me that you were in his phone as work wife, Siobhan. Is that-
Work
Uh-oh.
wife?
Are you aware of that? Have I not brought that
Oh
up
my
to you?
God.
What? No, you have not brought that up to me,
Oh my
Cantor.
God.
How did you know about this before I know about this?
Oh shit!
Long story. But
That is so funny for so many reasons.
Oh, I hate you.
it's just a rumor, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I
this
would
is a coincidence.
prefer
I have
if
never
we
had
didn't
sexual
talk about
relations
people's
with
relationships.
It's
that
okay.
here.
It's
man.
okay, Siobhan. Welcome to
I
the
did
Sex
not have
Scandal
sexual
Club.
relations
It's a
with that
great
man.
time. I'm having a lot of
I'm
fun.
not in a.
I have an ethics
I-
panel, and I don't know what the fuck that even means for doctors. Welcome.
Oh God.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Is
Crane,
this
if
a
you want to
redhead
come,
thing?
it's at the doctor meeting.
Is this a redhead
We're
thing?
gonna
Doctor
talk about
meeting.
me fucking Ryan Wilson.
I don't think so because
Alex,
I
are
mean,
you getting all this?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh great.
Everyone's
super.
invited. Fuck it, why not?
Awesome. I'll be there.
Well,
Perfect, okay.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, what else did you
fishing
got?
licenses.
goddamn government.
You fucking you hate it. You hate my big government standpoint. I'm sorry, Creed. You know I'm a leftist.
What's wrong with fishing? Tell me.
Nothing is wrong with fishing. I just think there should be a $200 license. That's it. And yes,
200?
200. Here's why.
That's good.
It should be a job that somebody can arrive their first fucking day in the city. They got $500 in their pocket. They can get a $200 fishing license and a $150 fishing rod. Okay. And some bait or whatever else. They'll have just enough money in their pockets to get themselves started and earn enough money to get themselves a hot meal for the day and put themselves on the path of success.
What? No.
That's why.
I mean,
You familiar with the economy right now? As far as
I am
like,
familiar with the economy.
because like a meal is really expensive still.
They're really expensive right now. Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to afford a fishing rod if they had to pay for a $200 license.
No,
Yeah,
they wouldn't be
people
able to
coming
afford it
into the
until they sold
city-
some fish. Like they're not gonna be able to get a meal immediately. They're gonna have to do some work to earn that meal.
Yeah, people off the plane like legit can't afford a meal.
Well,
Also, there was a PD report that was given to me by Flop, who did a bunch of work. The Fishing License Act also would, Alan, obviously this is your purview, just throwing it out there. There are some nasty trebuchet fishing hooks. I don't know the word for them. Day back. Should they be illegal? He thought so. Something about them being unnecessarily cruel to the fish. Just wanted to bring that up and see people's thoughts on it.
Nothing about the nets, actually. Surprisingly.
when I was a kid, we used to just stand by the corner and try and offer to go help people for work. We didn't have fishing.
That sounds like how you get murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just go jump on the corner and try to find some work real
Yeah,
fast.
just
don't
stand
know
over by
what
the
she meant,
fence
but,
and ask the neighbors,
there
hey, y'all
is
need help with yard
illegal
work, whatever.
hooks.
Just let us
Just
know.
how you did it.
Oh.
That like
Bunch of
meme
neighbors
and the
helping
fish,
each other.
quote unquote,
Um,
make them catch
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
obviously,
fine.
there's a lot of like fishing and stuff like that. So, taking a look at everything and coming up with some sensible regulations for fishing seems appropriate.
I agree.
Now, would that mean they
Just
get
maybe
animal
get some
cruelty if they're
experts in on
fishing
it,
without
though.
a license?
Uh,
I don't really like them getting a misdemeanor if they don't got a license, or a felony if they don't get a license.
no, it shouldn't be a felony.
No.
So should animal cruelty?
No.
I think it
Like-
should be a
I
separate
mean-
charge.
Maybe if they're using that bullshit hook.
Maybe if they're using that bullshit hook, yeah, right?
is there
In
a
the past,
term
we
for
had
fish
position-
poaching?
It would just
You
we
just
just used to have poaching, just poaching,
Illegal taking, I think is
Illegal-
what it is.
fishing.
It
or
was
whatever.
illegal taking of protected wildlife.
Right,
in the past, I'm pretty
illegal,
sure.
yeah, illegal taking of protected wildlife. Yep. We also had possession of illegal fishing hooks and criminal use of a gill net. Am I right? I think we had both of those.
Okay,
But I'm not advocating for the gill nets yet per se. Based
mean,
on the
should-
report Flop gave me, just the fishing hook. Sorry, go ahead.
One, I completely Flap's the expert on this. Two, I feel like we shouldn't make a whole bunch of extra charges and we just call them all animal cruelty for like the fish hooks and whatnot.
Animal cruelty is such a stigmatized thing, though. It's like drunk driving. Like, you don't want to have that on your record for fucking fishing, bro.
Yeah, well, it depends on how you're fishing, right? I mean, I see what you're saying. What was the fish hook shit? Was that a felony years ago?
I think the misuse or the use of the hook and the possession were misdemeanor. There was also another misdemeanor that was the net. The
Yep.
felony was poaching because there were this protected species or whatever, the unauthorized taking.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I don't really know which. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of having a hard time saying that anything really is super
Yeah.
in need of protection. I mean, hell,
There's
the
snapping
feller.
turtles.
Yeah, but why do they need protecting if there are that goddamn many?
They're
Yeah, why does any-
invasive as shit.
Yeah,
I
will
mean,
say
if you
for
go
the
down there,
record-
there's a whole leaderboard of the top 10 biggest snapping turtles that have been caught.
It's not like it used to be where you were like fishing fucking dolphins out of the water. Now they're just in the Alamo Sea, just doing their own thing. So fuck
I'll
it.
go on record. I don't think anything to do with like fishing should be a felony.
I was gonna say the same exact thing actually.
Why don't we do this? Hell, Cornwood, why don't you have what's his name? Floppy Floppy Drive.
Yep.
Why
That's
don't
me.
you have him write up his proposal and maybe give it to the DOJ, and we can look into like misdemeanors and all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
But in
I
terms
love
of
that.
I think honestly, I don't feel like we should regulate someone stepping off the fucking plane and trying to get a rod and go fishing. I'd rather that than them driving 120 miles an hour with a grime van.
True.
So I for my sanity, I'd rather deal with a bunch of fishermen, minding their own fucking business out in the wilderness, soaking in some sun, than dealing with these assholes driving these cars around super fast. So maybe we just leave it unregulated, but we put in some charges based on what Floppy Drive can come up with.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. I think that addresses the
Cool.
the
I will
overall
say
issues.
this.
Mhm.
I do like the idea of a license because it's going to incentivize police officers. They're going to feel like it's worth their time to go out there and do license checks on people. And
why
Which could
don't
help
we just
prevent piracy.
well not even the license check. Why don't we just make it so that we could write up some kind of legislation that basically says that the act of fishing or hunting
you can do illegal, like it's like not a stop and frisk, but a license
isn't
check.
well, not even a license check. You could even just say compliance check, right, with fishing regulations. So the act of fishing itself is not licensed, but if you are involved in the act of fishing,
You still have
in
to
state
comply with the
waters,
regulations.
then
even
you
if you're
still
not
have to
licensed.
be
Okay.
subject to inspection of your rod and your hook and all that, right? And if you're found to be using an illegal hook, then that calls into question your actions, and you get prosecuted under the penal code.
Can also
Alright, yeah.
check if they're boating while drunk. It's a huge problem.
Do they have a
that is
driver's
true.
license
But-
for it?
I'll draft
Ooh,
that up.
true.
I'll change what
Okay.
I'd written and redraft it with the idea of a compliance check for
Cool.
legislation.
That would be cool. I think that would give some cops something to do.
Woo!
Yeah,
it'll be
I
good.
think
Give
it's
old Floppy
yeah.
Drive something to stick his
I-
teeth into.
I
Mhm.
like the idea of having people feeling incentivized to go up there and just to get to communicate with the community. They might not catch nobody, but just feeling like, hey, there's something I could get here. Will kind of get them going up there and checking shit out.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
All right, I had another thing. All right, so we talked about liquor licenses, we talked about fishing licenses. Last but not least, wanted to talk about. I want this to be a roundtable discussion. Alan, you saw obviously I have a little work in progress thing on it, but roundtable discussion about mandated minimum pay for government employees.
That's what TJ Walker
Yes.
proposed. Yeah.
Yes, but I wanna have like a roundtable discussion rather than just, he's not here for us to talk about and to brainstorm on
Yeah.
that act.
No, you're not
So
wrong.
why don't we try to do the best we can with what we know?
Where is this?
It was a
Oh,
sort
the
of
Walker
like,
thing.
yeah, the Walker thing, and it's sort of tied to that incentive, pay incentive plan I had written up, sort of tied to both those things. But I just wanted this to like jumpstart a larger roundtable discussion about mandatory, like about minimum pays for government workers, right?
Okay.
What should those look like for each
Uh,
position? And do we think,
yeah.
right, that Do we think they should all have a living wage? And if so, what is a living wage? And if it's a living wage for one career, shouldn't that translate to others, or do others deserve or have higher, cost burdens that they deserve it more? I just wanted to like have that overall discussion with everyone.
Okay. I was always on board for some sort of minimum wage because inherently, other people can do a hell of a lot with their time, right? You can go do fucking a bunch of fucking
9,000 an hour doing
G6
Grime or
jobs. You can go
something, or
fucking yeah,
G6, whatever.
yeah. Whereas inherently, we're trapped in what we do, and a lot of our jobs are extremely needed. I think he put like whatever the fucking term is, but like critical workers. They're people that
It
are
did
needed
everybody
to run
but
the city.
lawyers.
Yeah.
So I would like them to be included as faux government, they're
Well,
Schrodinger's government
if we
employee.
switch it from
So the minimum wage we had before the increases and adjustments
Or the sliders.
was like 700 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Technically DLC was
Well, DOC doesn't count
625?
Yeah,
because
they don't
that
count. We're
was
not
literally
including them. They're
DOC
defunct.
was never even considered.
I
They're
got you.
defunct.
Okay.
DOC was the same amount of pay from like 5 or 6 years ago. It just never was altered at all.
All right. That makes sense. Okay.
Man, I'm cooked.
So set a minimum wage at 700 an hour, but that's only for
700 was for lawyers. 750 was for doctors.
well, that's only for government positions, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What is this entire
Lawyer, doctor,
paragraph?
No one
cop,
else really
whatever.
needs the help, to be honest.
Well, because I was gonna say, because if you said you can't say minimum wage is 700 because unemployment, is like
Right.
50 or something.
So it's not a minimum wage. It's like the standard minimum. I'm looking to set like a standard living wage for government employee positions.
Yeah, that's fair.
So fuck the fuck
Yeah,
fuck
I
fuck
can
those
agree with
lazy fucks who don't work. They can get a job. Just get
Fair
a job.
enough. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I've struggled through 250 before, and that was really fucking rough. We actually couldn't afford to feed ourselves, so some amount would be incredibly helpful. as
So
it levels
why don't we
forward.
just I mean call it 700 because that was the number that we were at before the slider adjustments.
Just for all government employees, or does it? Is
That's
it some
just a
sort of
minimum.
scale? Okay, so I could.
I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to do more than that.
That seems fair enough to me. I know TJ suggested 1K. I probably wouldn't have come in with that if I'd done it myself. I think I probably would have gone 750, but if you want to land on 7, I don't mind.
I mean, I don't care either way. 700, 750.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think of what.
cutting hairs.
I'm just trying to,
700 could work.
Yeah, I think 700 is fine. Because we're talking like actual minimums, right? Like, let's say a mayor comes in and just hates the EMS, right, for whatever reason, and he's like, "All right, all EMS make the minimum amount 700." 700 is still livable. Hell, and I would challenge anyone to tell me it wasn't, because I survived on 650 as a judge for better part of a year and a half, saving up for a $700,000 house. All right. Anyone against minimum wage $700?
I want it to be 750, and I'm gonna be a stickler about it.
Fine with me, 750.
I don't care.
We need that extra $50.
Yes,
And
we
Glenn
do,
is
Glenn.
frugal.
Cappuccino costs keep rising, so I need that extra 50.
Well, you don't
God, that
need
is
that
so bougie.
cappuccino.
That is.
You want a cappuccino? You should work harder.
I make it at home, Glenn. I'm already working as hard as I can.
You got a pretty nice house. I've seen it.
I know. Thank you. Not cheap.
Okay.
It's
Do we
expensive.
want to pass what Walker wrote? Just change the number.
Oh, let me look at it.
Yeah, let me bring
God damn it.
Oh god, that was so long ago. How far back was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh Jesus.
I'll see if I can find it.
Seems like a lifetime.
It is
I've got it.
6822.
So he said section 1, recognition of vital services, blah blah, designated essential workers, doctors, EMS, police, Wait, restaurant workers.
I
Take
want
that
lawyers
shit
to be
out.
in here and take
Yeah,
that shit out.
okay.
He put
I don't-
restaurant workers and left out lawyers. You know,
Take out
I felt
restaurant
like this
workers and
was
put in
the
lawyers.
biggest
Oh, because he's
slap in the
doing essential
face.
workers, not government workers.
Yeah,
I think
lawyers
we-
need some
Lawyers
love,
are
man.
essential workers.
Okay, so take out restaurant and put in lawyer.
Oh, clerk should be here too.
Yeah, I mean, if we just
Yeah, I got it. Hold
transition
on.
this to government instead of essential, I think that's fair.
Perfect.
And now it's Gorpa instead of Orpa. I like Gorpa.
I think TJ was making a joke here.
Which part?
City of San Andreas.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Not City of San Andreas. How do you make this joke before it will be relevant? Oh, God.
Which one of you animals is equal sign?
Could not be me.
No idea.
I thought I was
Oh,
bad with
Siobhan,
Jay.
don't say that.
No idea who it could possibly be.
I thought I was bad with Jay. What the fuck?
But what if it wasn't equal sign? What if it was actually like crazy? This is just like a crazy thing to say.
Cringe.
What if what if it was something else bound to an equal sign?
Ew.
Oh my God, that's too much effort.
I used my right alt
That's a
on
little serpent
keyboard
looking ass.
I just got a pet mouse,
All right.
and that's all I need.
or my mouse.
Okay.
Side
Anybody got
button.
any issue with this? The way it's set up. So it'd be doctors, EMS, police, lawyers, council members, cabinet members, county clerk.
Judges.
750 per hour. Judges, true.
I changed the word essential to government in the last part. Yeah.
All right. Any other edits or anything?
I think it's good to me.
Oh,
right.
hold on a second. 750.
Yeah, they stuck
Yeah,
a
Gotta
50 on there.
slip
Going.
that in there.
That's what we said.
The 50, yeah.
Said we need the extra
Wait.
50.
I didn't say
You agreed.
50.
I
Yes,
need
you
that
did
50,
not.
Glenn. I need
I'm
that. Don't
Glenn
let me
said
pull
you
out
need
my
that
numbers.
50,
yours.
Glenn, what the
Don't
fuck?
make me pull out my numbers. I'll do the
You
math
need
on how much it
something to
costs to
work
staff the whole
for. The
hospital.
chase is better than the cat.
Okay, 800 then.
800.
No.
God damn it.
800.
800.
Don't have food before I starve.
I do, but
Thank
only
you.
if we land on 750.
You are
I'm
not
voting no
extorting
unless
me
it's
with food.
700.
Well, if Max could extort me, why can't I extort you? I gotta put it down. I can't hand it to you for some reason. I gotta
Thank
get a
you.
part of this whole corruption thing, you know? I
Gotta
gotta
go
do it
with
somewhere.
750.
Thank you, Murphy. Thank you.
I'm voting no unless it's 700.
God damn it.
No.
Well,
Seven-
let's
750
push a
is-
vote with
let's-
750.
Let's just push the vote on 750.
All right,
well,
let's
I'm a big
clockwise from Siobhan. She's a
Yep,
yes.
yep,
Glenn,
yep.
No.
Yes.
Alan?
yeah, I'm okay with it. Cornwood,
Okay, I lost my shit. What report number was it again?
6822.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vote yes.
Woo! Murphy?
Yeah.
I almost
Great.
want it to be higher though.
Me too, but this is working for now. We got this passed. We can always adjust in the future.
I
As
think most
inflation
people's
rises.
pay will land above this. However, it's a good base level that no one can drop below, just in case. So we never run into situations again.
I mean, he's not even
where
home
certain
right now.
factions
So.
are 250, whereas others are getting thousands. It at least offers some level of protection where at least you can afford food, right?
That did
So
not
I'll
sound like the
take it.
sewers.
Yeah, it sounded like right outside.
That felt very close.
Oh,
It'll
boy.
be fine.
Okay. So I've marked that as approved, and I've recorded the vote.
Woohoo!
Anything else from Siobhan? I believe you said that was your final.
Yeah, I'm still working on other stuff, but that was it. Just want to go back to liquor licenses real fast. You all were not against the idea in general and the whole over-serving thing. We weren't a fan of the exact age. Is that right?
Goddamn government.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll brainstorm some point during the week and figure that out. Whoever wants to.
Look, I don't
Maybe
want
I'll do some community outreach. Maybe I'll sit down and have a drink with little tugs.
Alien, but your sobriety.
Yeah, I mean, he can drink. I don't drink some
Okay.
water.
I'm sorry. I was want to make sure you don't fall off the wagon. Concerned about
Listen,
you.
I make a mean seltzer water and lime. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, you'll have
Pretty
to.
Sometimes
fix
I
me
get a
up
little
more.
crazy and I throw a splash of
nice.
cranberry in there.
Whoa.
Oh,
That
that's
is
exciting.
very
That's good for
nice.
urinary tract
That's
health.
mostly when my prostate's acting up.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Okay. I'll have to make
We'll get
you
there
one
one day,
sometime.
Cletus.
Yeah, I'm getting close.
All right. Well, Glenn, dare I ask any cost saving initiatives?
I got something I'm working on, but no, I don't have anything to bring up this meeting.
All right. Well, so we'll expect some kind of work in progress from Glenn in the future. Miss Cantor.
Hello. Okay. I was gonna pitch double and FAFO, but I no longer want to pitch that. So
Yeah, it's
scratch
weird.
that
You
one
just
off.
suddenly decided not
That's
to.
I
huh?
just
crazy.
suddenly decided
Okay.
that I don't think any more stuff
right.
was needed.
Great.
Yep. Now
Is it March
let's see.
already?
Okay. I was gonna bring up. We passed drug scheduling way back in the day. And never got
Correct.
posted. Essentially, this is. I have no issue either way. I'm not fighting you on this. Is that just a no from you?
No, it's not a no.
Okay. That's all right. Yeah.
I just listen, if I run through all the backlog of shit that's got to get changed,
No, you're good.
I will put in drug scheduling for marijuana. But right now, given that the only drug that we have seen since the restructure is marijuana, and there is really nothing else pressing at the moment, I'm loath to
Okay.
it,
No,
it,
that's
it
totally
just
fine.
hasn't been a priority. But I recognize that it's approved, and I recognize that it's something that needs to get hashed out.
Okay.
Maybe I'll
absolutely.
let
All
one
right.
of the other judges sink their teeth into
Sure. No,
pushing
yeah.
legislation and having them help
Yeah.
out.
If it needs to be modified in some way, that's completely okay too. It kind of.
Maybe I'll have Hart
I
do
think
it.
they're.
She's good at
She's-
paperwork.
She's
Yeah.
great. She's my favorite.
Oh well, there you go.
Other than you, Alan, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know her, but I'm sure she'd be great at it.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yes, no, I recognize that has been passed. It's just something that's, no offense, but continuously gets pushed down the list.
No, I don't disagree. That's fair. It was just more checking because it could interact with something else I was cooking up.
Okay.
Okay. Essentially, I have a pitch thing on this written down, but it's kind of shit. Let me make a. I'm not really good at the legalese here. I'm just a doctor. I also put this together very quickly. Let me try to make this. I have no title. Oh god, I don't know if I can make this. Oh fuck. It might be fucked. Bear with me a second. Okay. I cannot currently make this. But let me just run you through what I was thinking. Essentially, there is no HIPAA here, despite the fact that people continue to reference it. And I and many other people would like it to stay that way. I do not think that making sharing information verbally illegal is a path I want to go down just in case. However, I've made 2 reports now. Okay, good thing I can delete things. This is fun. Essentially, there are some things that we have in our SOPs that other people would not be required to follow, including privacy, right? It's an SOP and not a law, as well as numerous other expectations for standards regarding medical. Essentially, this would put the board of directors in a position to have a say regarding medical businesses. Just a say, just essentially like they need to get it signed off by a member of the board of directors that they have spoken with them. Essentially to try and avoid things like Beta Life in the future, or things like, Nexus Pharmaceuticals or other various businesses that could have very greatly mishandled those and or utilized them for illegal means. It also would state that pharmaceutical companies would be required to be tier 3 and maintain both legal owners and workers, because that was a huge slippery slope back in the day. I finally made it. It's in there.
Okay.
Did it work? Can you?
No, I
can you
found
see
it.
Yeah,
I
I
just
see
clicked
it.
on the
You
wrong
found
one.
it. Those 2. I'm gonna
Found
delete
it,
the other
yep.
one. It's fine. I can delete reports. Oh wait, I made 3. Okay, this is
Yeah,
fun.
it's
This is
fine.
fun.
This is fine.
My
Everything's fine.
MDT's all broken again too.
Okay, I summarized most of it.
Oh, this is what we talked about, Cantor.
Yes, it's some of
Okay.
that. There's a tiny bit of this mentioned in the drug scheduling, but this fleshes it out a little bit.
No, totally. Okay,
Mhm.
awesome.
The ideal is that this wouldn't stop anything as long as they have like a good pitch, right? Say That's Life back in the day was doing fucking great, but they just have to bring it to someone who actually has, experience in the medical field for, a check of approval.
I think we should probably table this till Max is back.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because
It
there's
is
so
regards
much
to
in
businesses.
the
Yes.
businesses that I
It's
don't really
understandable.
feel comfortable,
That's fair.
Copium.
I think I see where you're going with it. I just
Mhm.
I don't that's a lot of the mayor's purview that I'm not really comfortable kind of sticking my nose in.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I can hold it off until tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Jesus, next week. But anything that's a red flag already?
Oh, I mean, it sounds
Love
good to me,
this.
but like I
We
said,
talked about this.
Seems
Cool,
fine
sounds
to
like a fan.
me.
just
All right.
I just want the proper people to.
No, that's understandable. Okay.
Cool.
All right, easy enough.
I had something I forgot about.
Okay, yeah. I
The
don't think I have
peeper-
anything. Oh, actually, no, I do. Go for it.
Do you? No, you go. You
No,
go.
you
I
go,
just wanted
'cause
to bring
you're-
it up. No.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
your thing, and I'll
Okay,
go
okay.
last because I forgot. I just wanted to bring it up before I forgot.
I'm trying to. Fuck, my notes are a disaster. One thing is, I will bring it up so we can at least all laugh about it. Bobby and Carmine stating very clearly that we should just give them back Dogtown for this whole thing to go away. This whole impeachment
Or
proceeding.
pay them $500,000. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no. The
yeah.
proceeding literally says they don't get you the money, so the people who filed it
It
are not in
doesn't,
league
I
with
know.
Bobby and Carmine.
They're not, but they're still trying.
Bobby and
to
Carmine are just
use it.
scamming. Fuck
They
those
are.
guys.
No, absolutely. That's why I wanted
They're
to bring that one up.
dumbass.
Then I have kind of a lot of halves of things. I was going to look into amending PIPA because now we don't have the adoption policy anymore. But the
Yeah.
marriage part still applies, so like I don't think it really matters. We could probably just leave it.
Yeah, I mean that's just part of it. Is when we remove things, we should remove the other parts. But maybe
Okay.
it's something you could draw up for next week.
Yeah, sure. I'll iron out the details on that.
All right.
I think I'm good. Go for it, Sean.
Okay,
Close
cool.
us out, Siobhan.
Okay, People Protection Act, report ID 7480.
Oh, yes.
Yes, can't believe I forgot
7480.
about this. This is really
Thank you.
important. Kind of weighty. You might just want to read through it. So we're acknowledging the two-party consent state. However, looking at placing these standalone spy cameras in placement in areas that is outside of the public view and from locations not normally accessible to the public.
What does that mean?
Illegal. Well, let's say you shouldn't be placing cameras on top of government utility or government buildings.
Oh yeah, it's trespassing
Yeah, but
The
let's
issue
say
and littering, technically.
technically, right?
Littering,
Or the
yeah.
courthouse, right?
Yeah,
Those
also
types of
littering.
things, or light poles,
So
etc.
what if it's like not trespassing though? It's somewhere they can
Street
go.
light?
Like we had an issue with people putting up the camera on the side of the hospital. You can freely walk there, but it's still surveying on a
Littering.
government building. Okay, fuck it. You think littering's gonna stop?
Why
No,
not
just take the camera. It's
tear it
trash.
down?
It is trash. I like that. We did tear it down.
Yeah,
we did
I mean-
immediately tear it down.
And to me, it's kind of a nothing burger because if someone does it in public, well, it's just trash and you can just take it. And if, someone does it on private property, well, then it's on your property, so it's yours and you can take it. Technically, the only place you'd be legally free to place a camera like that would be your own property.
What about
There's no need to
What
legislate
about like
that.
senior buns,
Yeah, that's public.
right? So
The
okay,
plaza is state owned.
True. Okay. Do you think that cameras need to be identified with like a sign indicating, alerting people that they are being filmed? Do you think that there should be some sort of signage when that, let's say it's on your home, so that people are
I don't-
aware of the fact that they're being filmed,
I don't understand.
It has to do with the two-party consent state. Right? If you're outside of a publicly viewable place, but there's somebody in a publicly viewable place, should you have to have posted signage?
Ain't nobody gonna do that, Siobhan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just confused because can't you just take it down if it's at your house? Like what?
No, sure. So look at it from both sides, right? Like, should a person who's in a public, like, so they're walking, but they're not aware that they are in fact being watched?
Well, that's
Should they have
public.
the
You don't have an
knowledge?
expectation of privacy.
No, they don't. They don't. But should there be some sort of posted signage regarding that?
Hey,
Not necessar-
asshole, you're in public.
No, just like, hey, asshole, if you try to go near my private property, it's being filmed.
No,
All right, that's fine.
I can put a security camera on my property, and it could look at my parking lot and the next street over, and I ain't got to warn nobody.
What about the listening to phone calls?
So that's the next part, right? I'm less pressed, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care about the camera as much as I care about
cameras.
remove cameras entirely.
What about people doing this?
What now?
The listening to phone calls.
Illegal to listen to phone calls on
spy
private and government
device.
property.
It's really funny seeing people do it and hearing the tea. I was listening to Rami listening on one the other day. It was funny as fuck, but it is potentially pretty bad. As one of the first people who had one of my phone calls listened to and information leaked through Gossip Gal, it's not great.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure someone listened to my call the other day, as well. It was inside of MRPD, so that was my fault for being stupid and having a phone call there. Yeah, so just making it illegal to listen to phone calls on private and government property. This
Why
is
would
also
you ever
many
need to
calls
listen to phone
today.
calls?
Yeah, get a life. You know what I mean?
Just
Well, some
Shit,
people
I don't
do
want to
not
listen to
have
my
those.
own phone calls.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I
Fucking
barely even
silly.
want to pick up my phone.
Yeah. Bobby Charles is calling me right now.
Of course he is.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That sounds like him.
So what's the so? There's people listening to phone calls,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Alan.
and you.
I'm pretty sure somebody would listen to the call between Max and myself where he said that he was at City Hall still, and then he got shot in the face. Pretty sure that's how they knew where he was.
So how do we prove that?
Well, there was somebody seen running around outside with the listening device. Right after that.
Right, but how do you prove that they listened to you? Does it like record what call they were listening to?
Sure doesn't.
Seems kind of.
I don't know much about it. I'll
Impossible,
be
then.
honest. I just seen him.
I'm just trying to think through, like, if you make this
Yeah.
illegal and I go into court, what burden of proof, what standard evidence do I use?
Sure. Mhm.
And if it's just
If it's just possessing it, that's a lot.
you're accusing someone of listening to
Considering
your
you get it
call, how do
from
you
a
prove
legal
they listen
job,
to your
yeah.
call?
Mhm.
I guess I think the device should be subject to seizure. I think we should just take them.
I mean, they use that for news, don't
seems
they?
a
Maybe you have to
little.
prove that there was other connections for evidence of a crime, Alan. You know, I'm not sure. I just think that it is a problem when it's occurring on government property, and I'm not
Well, doesn't
sure
that cover by
what the-
trespassing?
they don't have to be on the government property itself to be able to listen inside of government property. It goes
It
through
sounds
walls.
like it kind of sounds to me
Soundwaves,
like the
5G shit.
like
Yeah?
the fish and stuff with floppy disk.
So, what about
Kind of feels like we need like some kind of like, you know, remember how like before we had made bootlegging illegal, PD
Uh-huh.
had said, "Hey, there's moonshine popping up." And we're like, "All right, well, what do you want us to do about it?" And they were like, "Well, you know, Cornwood even they're distributing it, and there needs to be a harsher penalty and all this." And so we came out with bootlegging because it was a response to like a need, right? But
Right.
I don't really know.
You can't see a need for this.
Well, not sort of, but I'm trying to understand how this works in enforcement, let alone jurisdiction, let
Yeah,
alone
no, I get
judicial
what you mean.
jurisprudence, right? Like,
Mhm.
how does a cop? So the only thing we can come up with so far is just making the device illegal, but
I mean, it has no other purpose but to invade people's privacy
Yeah,
and
I don't
expectations
know.
of privacy.
what if it's like a gag and you want to listen to your dad call the Star Trek hotline and argue with, you know, the experts?
Like those prank calls on radio shows that are always scripted.
Oh yeah, that's good.
You listen in and it's like someone's like, "Hey, I want to send flowers," and the guy doesn't send it to his wife; he sends it to somebody else, so you know he's scamming.
So, on the idea of the trespassing, right? Would that essentially just be the moment they're warned, they stick around, then it can be trespassing at that point?
What? Hold on. What? I'm just gonna say a step further. What if
'Cause,
there's a picture
a
of
lot of these
somebody using the
places-
device too?
Well, these places are public, is why I ask. Would it just be like one warning and then?
I think a
trespassing?
warning, yes, and then trespassing that might
Okay,
be
there
an
you go.
option. But what happens if they're in a public area where they can't be trespassed? Let's say they're on the sidewalk outside of MRPD. Can't be
That's a good-
trespassed on the sidewalk, right?
I don't know. Can the state trespass you?
On the sidewalk?
Oh,
From
no.
the public
I'm
easement?
just trying to
Can they
think about.
trespass you from or off the sidewalk?
Oh my god.
The only thing I can think about is how much
I'm
I'm gonna play Ultra Strikers for the
Oh,
next
You're
3
Not
days.
confused, Cornwood.
Here,
Yeah, you're not
what I'm confused about is I'm confused about why does anybody need this thing?
Well, how does
fucking
this
love Ultra
device
Strikers.
work?
Apparently, they give it to the news people. Is that what
Yeah,
I
I
heard?
love
All
that
right,
game.
Yes.
look. We
Yes.
need a floppy disk dossier.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna legislate something when I have
I
no
will-
fucking idea about any of
Yeah,
this
there-
shit.
that's
there
fair.
needs to be a lot more information on this thing and how it works, what purpose it
I have
serves.
to grind
If
all
it
over again,
serves
but I'm
no
ready to
legal
fucking
purpose
dunk on them.
whatsoever, then that is the only time in which we can actually mark it for seizure. Because if there's any like, hey, I have this thing and I'm going to use it legally for something, then you just can't really take it, right? Unless you have a PC to do so, it's used in the commission of
Shit,
crime.
actually, you can make millions of dollars with that thing.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
text
Sure.
it. There's 5G signals.
You
in
market
your
it to
house.
16-year-old girls so they can listen to their friends for boys on the telephone without laughing on speakerphone.
That's hilarious.
Damn
Bam.
kids.
Millions of dollars.
That's how it's been used for us. Fucking, we've got the Saints listening on Ryan's phone calls with his girlfriend to hear all the tea. It's funny as fuck. Most of my interactions with this device have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, there's some like key frequency reader shit that we still don't have that shit marked for seizure, and ain't nobody ever had a good reason to use that thing. So that's just
someone told me in court that their argument was that sometimes they lose their key fob, and this lets them unlock their car without needing their key fob.
I lose my key fob all the time.
well,
It's normally in the bottom of my purse.
I don't know what's being even referenced.
Apparently, there's a device that lets you unlock a car,
Oh.
and all you have to do is be in proximity of both the
What?
key fob and the car. So it's kind of like a signal extender or a duplicator almost, or a reader.
Oh, that's
So it basically
interesting.
just like, unlocks and lets you start the car almost like you have the key fob. And so
What if you lock your
drawing a
keys in
parallel.
your car?
there you go. This would let you unlock your car.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
yeah. So it's really damn hard to get something actually marked for seizure.
Yeah, it's difficult. Well, okay. Well, we table that till we get some more info. Sean, I see where you're
Okay.
coming from. But we gotta
There's a
we
dossier.
can't
I
just
think we need to,
legislate. We gotta think about how we actually enforce and
what the enforcement mechanisms are. I understand.
Yeah, no, you made up good
jurisprudence.
points.
Flop has a whole thing written up on this. I think already. I'd seen something in PD reports.
Wait, I was joking. Floppy drive again.
I'm pretty sure.
Sloppy.
I'm pretty sure
Alright.
it was him again. Maybe we just need to get him in here and have him, give us his
Yeah,
dossiers
maybe.
and do a presentation.
Yeah,
Hey,
I would love that actually.
Yeah, maybe we can get him in here. I'd like to have something to read though first.
No, for sure.
All right. Well,
We did it, everybody. We didn't get shot.
good job, everyone. We got through a meeting
Congratulations. Yeah,
in approximately 2.5 hours.
that's good. And made progress.
I'm gonna go listen to Erwin Dundee claim that he didn't do exactly what he probably did.
Oh,
Was
I'm
that
gonna-
happening downstairs?
Very good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
yell at people outside with my sore throat.
hell yeah, you have fun.
Very good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go
I
ask
love
them if
the
they got
walk,
any
Roland.
oxy.
Loving the walk. Yeah, good idea.